Okay, live chat number 2. My puppet just broke and I got a few minutes. And I'm like, wow, I haven't done a live in over a year. So maybe I'll see what happens. Hey, Andre. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Just took a shot. I actually was in the middle of an animation and I'm like, hey, my puppet broke. So thought I would come on in here and see if anybody would even bother showing up. Wow. Okay, we got a few here. Rick, what's up? Timiplastelina, hello. LMS animation. Hey, everybody. Just thought I'd connect with some of the YouTube audience. I've had quite a Blaze. What's up? Marcelo, hello. TN. My YouTube channel has kind of grown quite a bit. I see Justin. Hey, what's up? BE. I would actually try to talk with some of you guys because there's so many people here that I've never interacted with that have been watching my work recently. So, Andre, no plastic, Dylan's. Looks like we got some toy people in the house here. Yeah, I noticed the puppet wasn't holding position for you. What a gutter, it broke. Yeah, it happens. James, the stop motion's all problems. It's all problems. So my wire on this puppet is broken good 3 times over the process of making this film. So got to cut them open, got to put in a new wire, and then seam it back up, and then try to get back to that same position because I'm about 30 frames deep. Every other time that it's happened during the film, so far, I've been able to continue. I haven't lost any footage, which is really nice. Hey, Timik, I'm great. Thank you. I've been busting my butt on all the different things, making this film, getting ready for next year's episodes of a lot of things that we have in line. And then I'm actually going to Leica to work for them for 3 months as well. Thank you, Tien. It's very kind. Yeah, so I got a lot of things going on. And I'm not only going to be going to Leica to work for 3 months, I'm going to be coming back here on the weekends to animate in our studio because we have a studio that runs all year long. So we're going to bring in some guest animators to help out. And then I'll be coming back, and so I'll be working 7 days a week nonstop in the next 3 months. So a lot of hard stuff ahead, but it's all good. It's all magic. I'm lucky I get to play with toys and make movies and tell stories for a living. Thank you, Johnny. I like my office too. My office here is very much an inspiration booth. Like I've worked on a computer for a large portion of my career too. So, when I'm in here all day, say doing CG animation, being surrounded by all the things that made me want to be an animator is really, really beneficial because it's constantly reminding me of why I do this when it gets hard. Every time I walk in here, I get pumped up because I remember the things that made me want to be an animator. So I tend to feed off of inspiration quite a bit. And it's the same way when I'm doing stop motion too. Thanks, No Plastic. Yeah, going back to Leica, 3 months. Same thing in stop motion. Typically, I have old shows or movies or things that really, again, were part of my growing up and forming the ingredients of what made me want to do animation. And yeah, Dragon's Lair is one of them. Huge inspiration. I would sit and watch people play that and I still do. When I play it, I'm just like, oh my God, these backgrounds, this animation's amazing. I love it. Yeah, I'm really good at handling pressure, James. I work really, really hard and I do what I love. And I don't know. It's just a gift that I could do that. I inherited it from my parents who work very, very hard and are pretty hardy folks as far as dealing with stresses and all of that. Hey, from Colombia. Hola. Hello, Chris Rapp. Yeah, the next film at Leica is called Wildwood. So there's a lot of animation. It's a huge, monstrous film. I'm really excited about it. And when I went up for the 10th anniversary of Paranorman, I was animating a little dance thing with Norman and kind of pulling him out of the, out of the storage units and then kind of breathing life back into him. I got to see a bunch of the pre-production on Wildwood, so I was very inspired by it. I was like, every once in a while you see a film and you're like, yeah, I got to work on that. And, it's inspiring enough to pull me away from the homeland for a little bit. Loved your work on Pinocchio. Tim Allen was great as well. Thank you very much. I really loved, again, honored to work on it. And it was another thing where I was working full-time CG for Blizzard, and I took a vacation to go work on that, just to be a part of it, because Pinocchio was the stop motion project that I was like, I am not allowed to miss this. If they're doing Pinocchio in stop motion, it's mandatory. We have to find a way to make this happen. So it was very, very cool. How often do puppets break in general? All the time. All the time. Constant decay is how I just do, describe it. This puppet, oh my God. I had a backup puppet that died after 2 shots. I have this main one, which is our most properly built one, and it lasted the longest. The neck still broke, but the core body has lasted the majority of the shoot, which is, 12 shots or something like that, 13 shots. But the neck is broken. This is the 3rd time the neck is broken. So there's just a lot of stress at that point where it connects to the torso right here. So because it's handling this big, long neck, and I'm really cranking on it, and just breaks. It needs to be built to have a little bit of a loop in there, and also backup wires to make sure that even if it breaks, I can finish a shot typically. But because it's holding silicone really far against its natural state, it's just stressed. So it's a design flaw that is going to be fixed in the next one. But it happens all the time. How often do they break? Yeah, like toes break, shoulders break, hips break, necks break, everything breaks. You have to be ready to repair any puppet you make, including armatured puppets, which I've really been against armatures personally in my garage, unless I have someone that can repair it, because once an armature breaks, I'm screwed. It's like recast, repair, like it's a nightmare. So hey, Vineyard Farmhouse, thank you. Wire pipes lately, I need a better solution. How many times you spent on Pinocchio project? A couple months. I was on it for a couple months. I did, I don't know, 45 seconds to 50, I don't know, maybe close to a minute in the end of footage for that one. But that's because one of them was monstrous. It was like a 24-second shot. And then the other ones were like your typical 3 to 5 second shots. What's your most scary, stressful time a puppet broke during a shoot? Even on that Pinocchio shot, the big one that everybody knows online, that puppet broke, 4 or 5 times, just the monkey itself, where I had to take it back, offset, get it repaired by the armaturist, get back on set, get back in the groove. It happens often. It just does. That wasn't stressful though, because it was enough of an action shot that it was going to be easy to hide if I pulled him off. It's the really subtle things, like what I'm doing down there right now. It looked I'm just doing this big growl with the terror dog, and like I'm in these really small 24 frames per second on wire movements. It's going to be a little harder to get back to that, and I might have to cut back a little bit to a larger swing in the neck. I hope not, but it's tough. That 24-second shot had 9+ characters in it, and it took me 3 weeks to do. And I was moving fast. That is not your typical pace. Typically, something like that, an action scene like that, everything about that shot should have taken a lot longer, but I only had 3 weeks of vacation, so I had to do it in 3 weeks. Are you an actual animator for Ghostbusters? It's a fan-made thing. I am not an animator for Ghostbusters. I am a fan who grew up loving Ghostbusters, and I actually am a filmmaker as well. So I am moving our studio, Stunt Puppet Pictures is our studio, towards things outside of toys. We want to show that we can do creature features because we're writing creature features, and we are also just interested in doing the Harryhausen effect stuff that that I was so inspired by as a kid. When I went to art school, I didn't expect to get into CG animation. I thought I was going to be working on special effects for films. So it's kind of like me coming back to it 30 years later. And also because the films we're writing and are going to be directing are going to be using and mixing stop motion with live action. So it's a test. It's a real piece for our studio. And it's also kind of catching a wave in the new Ghostbuster film coming out. How many seconds did you manage a day on Pinocchio? I think I was about 3 seconds a day. 70. I tried to hit 70, 72, 70 something frames as much as I could. I shot that all on ones because it was a giant camera move. A lot of the other stuff on Pinocchio's was shot on twos, so it was a lot easier to get through footage. But that one, I had to hit everything on ones with all the 9 characters and the moving camera, and but I was moving and grooving for sure. 24 frames per second, yeah. Love that you keep the old style alive. Yeah, me too. It's a big reason why I do this. I love it. It's magic. Are you going to make another He-Man stop motion? What do you think? Yes. Yes. Am I going to make more He-Mans? Yeah, I'm making lots more He-Mans. I want to make a show, guys. Like, just so you know, anyone who's here from the toy universe or He-Man fans, I want to make a series. I just need to get support either from the community or from Mattel to do it. We're kind of inching our way there, but I'm a huge fan of He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and I think what we could do even if it's a web series, 3-minute episodes, 8 or 9 3-minute episodes, I would blow minds with the stuff that me and Shelly would create. So that is definitely on the way. Lots more He-Man for sure. Okay. Love that you keep the old style. Are we going to make another He-Man stop motion? I like the tattoo in your head. Thank you, Chris Rapp. It's been there a very long time. Way before people started tattooing their faces and necks and heads. It's been up there. My daughters only know me with stripes. Long time. Any figure holders like tripods you recommend? It depends if you're a beginner or a professional. I got mine professionally made because I'm a professional animator. They're very expensive. The kind I got from a guy named Maxwell Sorensen on Instagram. He makes winders. But you can get something off Amazon pretty cheap, and that'll work great for beginner animators, especially if you're working on twos, which most beginner animators are. The honest truth is, for about 10, 12 years, I only used a 5-pound weight with wire out of it, and I was able to do everything I needed to do. So it's really cool. Kinetic armatures, yeah, they make great ones. You can get them now, and it makes things a lot easier than what we were muscling through for years. But it's all cost. if you want one, you can get one cheap. There you go. Kinetic Armatures is probably about $250 or something like that for a good winder. XY. Are you ever going to try Lego stop motion? Here's the deal, Space Nugget Studios. There's a gajillion Lego animators out there, right? So when there's a gajillion Lego animators, how do I stand out as an animator, right? Because I need to offer something that other people don't. The thing that I love about Legos is they're cool, they're fun. They have a million things you can do with the different licenses and being really creative. But I think there's just too many people to make me stand out. If they ever called me Lego and said, Justin, do a Lego thing, absolutely I would do something, and I would do something really cool. But because there's so many, I just feel like I have to do something that's more unique, because I'm not, I'm not highly passionate about Legos in the way that I need to do it. And there's too many people out there. Thanks for the advice. I hope you get to do that HeMan stop motion series. Thank you, man. Got a bunch of episodes coming next year, no matter what. And thank you. What's Shelly up to? Shelly's taking my daughter and her best friend to the airport right now. So I had this little window since my puppets broke, but she's building sets, if you're wondering, for the new HeMan episodes we're doing. So she's actually doing all the pre-production. We got 2 animatics ready to go, off to approvals. Yeah, we're ready to do it. We're just getting some toys lined up that haven't been delivered yet, and then we're going to be working very soon. Other than that, Shelly's been helping me shoot a lot of the live action for Terror Dogs as well. Glad to see you in the live again. Planeta Maqueta. Hey, what's up? Gun Nut. That's where I'm at. Got me 5-pound weights and extra arm clamps. Yep, absolutely. Simple works and cheap. It definitely works. You got to paint them out both ways, fancy or not. Yeah, 24% of your actual animator Ghostbusters. Yeah, so like, if you look around my office here, like, I got a gajillion inspirations. I got Gremlins. I got like Star Wars. I got Conan. I'm a huge Conan fan. All kinds of things over the years. All the stuff I did for Blizzard, monster movies. All the 2D animation stuff that I adored growing up made me want to animate, because I did a lot of 2D. I started in 2D animation. Comic books back there on my shelves. Definitely have a huge menagerie of inspiration and fun and things I still would like to bring to life. Very similar to like what I did with HeMan for all the toy collectors out here. Do you remember me? Just Lego? Hey, what's up? Are those art books I'm spaying? Of course they're art books. Yeah, I got all kinds of art books. Way down deep inside of me, I'm still an artist somewhere. So I definitely, I don't get to draw as much, but I do character designs and storyboards before all of our original projects. And this next year too, Just Lego, you're French. Awesome. From France. I didn't remember that. Me and Shelly both have original stuff we want to put out, because we've been doing so much of this licensed work with Brooder and Mattel and a few other companies that we've been working for. So we're definitely excited to get our own original stuff out there, because we started all original stuff when we were getting into stop motion. We were doing Gerald's Last Day, and we were doing Dogonauts, lots of original sculptures, Dorky Dad, like all these things that that were just popping out of our head, my head or Shelly's head together. So we have 2 shows that we want to be pitching this next year after I get back from Leica. and we're going to be, and one feature film. So we're making moves on all three of those, which means puppet making, sculpting. The character designs are already done because we've already been working on all this stuff. Stories and scripts are in progress or are done. Yeah, we're really excited to get it out into the world and on the internet. So people start looking at us as original creators again, instead of, just product animators, stuff like that. So is it hard to pitch the kind of shows you want to do? I think it's hard to get them approved. I don't think it's hard to pitch. I think that's something that comes kind of natural to me as an animator artist, because I'm so passionate about projects and I'm so passionate about what I do. I think that's really infectious in a lot of the conversations that I have when I'm explaining, to people what my vision is. I think that's gotten us a lot of the work that we've done over the years, and found a lot of success. So I think that part's easy. I think being, a little bit lucky, building up enough credit to get in front of someone that would even listen to your pitch is challenging at first. I think you have to have some credibility there, but I think I've built that over the last 30 years. Do you prefer stop motion over 2D animation or the other way around? I love all animation, all of them, 2D, CG, stop motion, but my heart is more excited about stop motion than any of them. When it's done right, it feels like pure magic, total magic. When you have a character, a real thing that you can touch and grab, that was sculpted and built and cast, that comes to life and breathes and thinks and has physics and weight, it is the highest high of my animator life when I can pull that off. So I'm very, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. It's not always my favorite to watch. Sometimes, because there's obviously nowhere near as much stop motion out there as 2D animation or CG. Obviously, both are, everywhere. So, but I think that there's, when you see other film studios taking stop motion to a place in storytelling, like Leica does, of course, that you've never seen before, I think the opportunity to do something really incredible is right there on the edge. So I'm really excited about it. Just saw you were live. Wanted to say hi, Parker. Thank you. Do you prefer stop motion or no plastic? What got you hooked on stop motion first that totally changed your direction? What was the film that got you inspired? Oh man, I mean, I grew up watching creature features. So if it was stop motion, it was the Harryhausen stuff. So like the Voyage of Sinbad, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. It was the Clash of Titans. It was Jason and the Argonauts. It was RoboCop and Star Wars and Dragons. Everything from the 80s that would do creature stuff was, if it wasn't a hand puppet, a physical puppet, it was a stop motion creature, right? So I grew up adoring and loving tangible, real, Never Ending Story, Labyrinth, Jim Henson, Dark Crystal. Like, these films made me want to be not only a stop motion filmmaker, but a like a real special effects person. So it would be Harryhausen that started it for sure. But he gets freaked out by the creature, my monster, if I do too much. But beyond that, it was 2D animation, and then that was things like Dragons Are Buddy, chill. It was things like Don Bluth and Secret of Nim and all that stuff. Hey, you gonna go outside? No barking. Chill. It's okay. Chill. I agree completely with my major CG animation. I've taken a couple of stop motion classes, and I could say there's nothing like stop motion project coming together. Yeah, it's just so rewarding. It's so rewarding to feel your artwork physically, and that illusion just feels like magic. Drawn Anderson because stop motion requires so much space physically, man. Since you shoot so much with cameras, do you ever just do photography? No, I don't. I don't really. I'm not a photographer. I'm a photographer by necessity because I'm so interested in bringing these characters to life. What I would love to do is hire people that understand cameras, so I don't have to do it. But I'm learning by necessity. The only photography I really do is with the phone, and I do, think compositionally and stuff like that, but not really settings and really getting into the nitty gritty of it. Let's see. I have a question. What was it like to work on Paranorman? It's my favorite movie of all time, and I hope to work at Leica Studios. Sam said this. Paranorman was a dream come true. It was magic. I will be forever attached to that film because I had been in the industry for 12, 15 years. I don't even remember anymore. 10 years ago. So maybe it was, 15 years or so like that. And I never would have guessed in my entire life that I would be working on a stop motion feature because I had gone to school for practical effects. They disappeared. I became a CG animator as a professional, and I stayed there for 15 years. Stop motion disappeared. It wasn't a thing. So to imagine that I could ever work on a feature film was an impossible thought. But then all of a sudden, we made these short films that did really well at the festivals, and then Leica called. They had seen one of our films, and this opportunity came out of nowhere, and I was working for Sony at the time, and I had to take it. It was amazing. And when I got there, because I didn't know what the project was, I knew it was kind of about zombies, but I didn't know anything else. When I saw those designs on Paranorman, I was like, holy freaking crap, this is amazing. And I was in heaven. It was like literally a walking dream come true every day. Every day. It was amazing. I loved it. Smiles for miles. The most attention a famous person has ever given me. Hey, man. Jeremy, Tavora, all good, man. Are there any go-to weekly push-ups you do to keep your stop motion physics practice so things feel the way you want to keep your shootings and keep your shooting speed? I don't do anything anymore except animate. So I don't do exercises. I just animate. And unfortunately, with the amount of time I have for the episodes we create, the webisodes, or for my own creature feature stuff, I just have to dive in because I'm running a studio. I'm running a life. I'm doing so many things. I have physical activities that I do. I have, dating my wife constantly. Like we have life and then art. So I don't have time to do as much like training or prep, even prep for shots. I just have to dive in and hope it works out. So it's a lot more improvisation in my home stuff because I don't have time. Like when I go to like a studio like Leica or something where I have more time to prepare, I prepare. Hey, Dingus, what's up? Just saw you got here. So it's really fascinating, but as a younger animator, if you have time to do that kind of stuff, I mean, bad physics are going to be one of the first things that kills a shot believability. So I would definitely make sure your mechanics are on point and then go from there. I tried learning 3D animation in Blender, but I failed. It was way too complicated. Yeah, I mean, one thing at a time, one skill at a time. I think you could figure it out. It's just if you want to or not. Perhaps my fears. When a puppet breaks, how do you re-register it? Or do you just change the viewport? Oh no, I re-register. I mark my tie downs where my feet are. I put it back in, and then I do everything I can to sculpt the character right back into that pose. And then while it's also broke, I try to move it as little as possible. Obviously, the neck I'm going to have to completely change, but that's kind of the deal. Then you eyeball it so you get it to be as clean as possible. Do you picture arcs and spacing in your mind, or occasionally use guides in Dragon Frame? Never use guides. Absolutely, I picture arcs. Absolutely, I picture spacing. One of my things that I do before, besides feel, and feel is pressing play and feeling the flow, is I absolutely think before I start a shot. I close my eyes and I think, and I'm like, where is my spacing? Where's the hang time? Where's the zips? These are my terms that I use. Where's the hang time? Where's the zips? And zips meaning fast movements, hang time meaning the slower sections. And once I have a clear intention of what I'm going to do, that helps me when I get into animating to know this is a hang time moment, a lot more frames. This is a faster movement, a lot shorter, quicker frames. So absolutely, I picture all that stuff. And then I feel it as I press play. God forbid stop motion disappears. I love stop motion. Me too. It ain't going nowhere. It's bigger than it's ever been, just so you know, Guillermo. You mentioned wanting to hire someone to operate camera for you. What kind of specialties would you like to have with you? Are you looking for people? Yeah, we definitely, right now, I do all the DPing myself. That is a skill that I'm also trying to hire some of my animators with that ability. And if they don't have that ability when they come here, I'm going to be starting to train or have them do setups and lens choices before I get there. Therefore, it's more about like finalizing instead of setups. But we will be hiring someone if we get to a point where we're doing a full series. We're going to need a DP to run everything because I'm too busy doing all the other things a studio manager has to do, and I'm trying to animate. So, yeah, we're looking for people with good portfolios. If you have specialties in shooting miniatures, even better, because you're going to be lighting miniatures. So, Rita Fox, I'm so late. Hey, I hope advances with technology and AI especially doesn't try to compete with stop motion. I don't care. Everybody's freaking out about AI. I don't fucking care, guys. Sorry I said the F word there, but I'm going to do what I do no matter what. You know, everybody's like doom and gloom about this stuff. This is my life. I'm animating because I love animation. And if they want to eat sugar cereal with some weird machine that creates fake stuff, awesome. Do it. That's your jam. That's not why I'm doing it. So I'm absolutely going to do this no matter what for me. So all that AI stuff is whatever. It doesn't matter to me at all. What was the first puppet you used? I made a snow bumble kind of ripoff. It was basically a abominable snowman. Was the first puppet I ever made, and also one of the first animations I ever did in stop motion. What tips do you have to get into the film industry? Demo reel. It's all about the demo reel. You have to have quality animation that is at a professional level, showing acting, showing good mechanics. And, you know, a lot of people get jobs. There's different styles. If you're going for Leica, you have a very photo referenced live action naturalist style. And if you're going for Robot Chicken, it's cartoony, it's fun, it's on twos, it's snappy, pose to pose. So aiming for where you're going, different styles, you know, crafting different reels for the different places you're applying. That's it. It really is. It's bottom line. You're going to get noticed when your work is good enough. And you have to be in the locations of the work, which is basically Portland or Los Angeles or UK. Like those are the three hubs basically. So if you're not near there, there's 800 other guys going hey, let us in, you know, so you gotta be around it. I hope advances with technology. What tips do you have? Is that Gizmo? Yep, that's Gizmo. Got all kinds of gremlins in this house. Have you seen Chuck Still? Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. So inspiring to me. That director, buddy, chill. That director was able to make that film. The quality was incredibly high for I'm sure the budget it had, and yeah, everything about that was really inspiring to me. I've kind of become semi, online friends with the director, and it's really fascinating and amazing to kind of hear his journey on that, making that film. So, I'm really sad that it didn't get more attention, but that's the business. But either way, he's a feature film director, and he did an amazing job. It's hard to make good movies, and he did a great job. Can I ask you about your head tattoo and if there's a meaning behind the lines? Yes, Miles, there is a meaning behind my lines, and people ask me all the time, and I'm not going to answer it this live stream, but if you come back another time, we'll talk about it, because I'm sure a lot of people, if I start live streaming here on YouTube, I'm going to get to ask this question every live stream. So we'll try to get like a few more bodies in here so it gets answered for many more people. So, what's this? Like, can I ask if I had tattoo? Have you animated for Bing for Christmas ads? No. It's kind of interesting, Mosquito Nerd. I am just opening the door as a studio to doing kind of ad work. You know what I mean? Because the biggest thing that I've learned through social media is you put out there what you want to do, right? So what I did is I put out animation that I wanted to do for me, right? So I was a big HeMan fan, or Overwatch. I work on the video games, so I wanted to bring the characters to life, or Gremlins, or Ghostbusters, whatever it is. I put the things out there that I want to come back to me, or the things that are genuinely interesting to me. So doing ads for candy bars or Coca-Cola cans or whatever it is, or hasn't been something that I'm like, ooh, that's what I want to do in my free time. I want to do fun, stuff that's interesting. So because I haven't put it out there, no one has come to me for jobs, right? Because they only go where they see you can do. That's how, marketing people work, right? They're like, they don't even know I can do that stuff. And of course I can do that stuff. So at some point I will open that window to the more ad-based entertainment. And we have done a couple of small things that I haven't really shared on my channels, because it's not what I want to share, right? Or I've gone uncredited I'm just an animator. I did this thing, or our studio did this commercial, and it's like, we'll put it out there so that people can see it. But it wasn't something I was like throwing around on my demo reel or any of my channels, because that's not really what I was looking to come back to me. So that was a long answer for that one, but can I ask about your Yo, you're live. Kelly Valter, what's up, brah? Fellow animator from the past. Good to see you. I'm a big fan too, man. Hope you're good. Kelly is a buddy of mine. I met at Blizzard doing CG animation. He's a big stop motion fan, so we connected. He went on to DreamWorks, to making all kinds of awesome movies, animating that I'm sure a bunch of you guys have seen. He's drawing what he loves to draw. Yes, Johnny. Yes, kind of like Dave Raposa. Yeah, you know that's kind of where you find your success in social media, man. Is like showing what you're passionate about, and then if people stumble upon it that are interested in what you're doing, you build an audience, and it's a real audience that's going to stay and support you through whatever you're doing, original things, entertainment, just sugary entertainment that you guys can watch on my channels or something like that. But like obviously I have a big toy following. I have claymation following, stop motion following. Then I have like BMX following. I have like all these little sub followings that are things that I've shown my interest on my Instagram or channels that have kind of come together in this weird place where I can kind of show a lot of the things that I do. Do you ever animate sitting down, especially if you need to build your set lower to the ground in order to accommodate? No, I don't. I never animate sitting down because my whole studio has tables, big tables that are about, I don't remember how many inches, 45 inches tall or something like that. So I have done it before. I actually did a class for a giant video game company called Riot. Me and Shelly went down there and did a claymation workshop with a bunch of their employees. I don't know, maybe 5-6 weeks ago. And I did animate claymation sitting down for that class because that's kind of the format. It was in a place where it was all on desks that were seated. And I absolutely can do it. It's easy, but I prefer to stand for sure. Dude, you're a big inspiration, Buckwheat. Oh, thanks, dude. Really appreciate it. Definitely love doing this, and it's amazing to this is my second ever live stream on YouTube. I did one maybe 2 years ago as a test just to see how it worked. So if I start doing my live streams here instead of, I used to do them on TikTok or Instagram, what I like about this is it goes right to my YouTube channel, and then I can actually start to meet you guys and create some relationships here. So it's great to meet you. Good luck with the advert work. One of the essential streams for keeping the things going. How are you going to get the message out that you're ready to take on some gigs? I don't have to, no plastic. This is the crazy thing is I get 10 job offers a day. It's insane. My Instagram is filled every day with job offers. And my home email is somebody's inquiring about something, right? So 1 out of those 10 is probably something I'm interested in or has a budget that's at a level that it needs to be for me to take the job. So, obviously that's 1 out of 10, but it's still happening all the time. So people are seeing my work and Shelly's work. So we're booked for the whole year, all of next year before the year has started. Like we have more work than we can do already. And we're like, okay, what else are we going to do? Like, because we have to carve out windows for our original projects, and we have to carve out windows for moving towards our personal goals. So far, just having my social media active, right? And that's me posting things that I'm working on, things that are going on at the studio. That has brought in all the work that I need, which is, again, it's another reason why I haven't opened up really to advert stuff, because, if it's a choice between, animating a t-shirt versus animating, some character that I adore from my childhood, or a monster in somebody's movie that they're making, or a music video that's connected to some big star, I'm going to choose those over, a commercial for soap or something like that, And, and honest to God, like a lot of the advert people, especially in social media land, they think it costs nothing. They're like, hey, here's $250, make me a 10-minute music video. And it's like, what? Like they have no idea, or they're just disrespectful towards stop motion as a content making device. So they think it's really cheap and fast and easy, but there's a ton of work involved. So a lot of that stuff, I'm just like, yeah, they don't have the budget to hire me anyway. So how do you feel about stop motion getting back as an often option for films? I was really surprised by the new Pokemon movie using it. Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's awesome. Like I said to one of the guys earlier, it's bigger than it's ever been. And like, you know, toys have really connected with stop motion in YouTube universe and stuff like that, or social media universe. So seeing that they used the Pokemon stuff was really, I think, effective, because you know it's real. It's coming to life, which is magical. And I don't know. I think it's beautiful, and you can do it, and it's cheaper. That's the thing too, guys. Is like, you know, CG is expensive. CG is expensive, but like, stop motion is considerably cheaper. Way cheaper to make. Even at professional rates, the budgets are going to be a third of what a CG feature is going to cost. And so as people realize that, and also because things are moving to streaming instead of just box office, it's definitely a more viable way to tell a story. Plus, you know, everything in CG is starting to just give me cavities with how it's just all feeling the same. It's all feeling sugary. So throwing something else in there every once in a while that tastes different is really fresh and exciting. I wanted to know about the music you choose for your stop motion. You know, I'm a total soundtrack score nerd. I love traditional scoring for film. So you know, for our projects, we can't obviously afford to have people do original scores often. So I've had to use a lot of royalty-free stuff. But in our original stuff, I definitely I always hire a real composer, and I have a really good buddy who's an incredible talent, and he works in feature film. So he's the guy that I'm thinking about for all my bigger, larger projects. But we use a lot of royalty-free stuff is the short answer. What approach to storage solutions do you manage to keep organized? How do you keep everything on hand? I have a million hard drives, all organized, folder structures. It's all in there. So like I just have a whole system that for every single short we make is set up and backed up and on Dropbox, like all kinds of things. Always love stop motions and claymation movies and TV shows. Buckwheat, that's awesome. I think people with bad motivations just don't realize they come across aloof. Yeah, I mean, bad motivations. I don't quite know what that means, but what's a cheap way to start in stop motion animation? Clay. It's the cheapest. Go get some Play-Doh. Get an action figure from the dollar store and start clicking around. That's definitely with a webcam. That's the cheapest way. What movies or animations have you worked on? Catch a Fraud, Theory God. I've worked on, oh gosh, let's see, Paranorman. I worked on Kubo and the Two Strings. I worked on Alien Xmas. I worked on SpongeBob the movie. I worked on SpongeBob Christmas Special. I worked on Pinocchio. I worked on Wendell and Wild. I worked on Elf Special. TV special. I worked on. I'm about to go work on Wildwood. That'll be my third Leica film. And a few other ones that are like that I can't even remember, like some documentary. Mythic Journeys, I think was a documentary I worked on. Oh, Hellenback I worked on. That was another feature. When did you realize you were going to start animation, and what films or kind of things did you get into? I knew I was going to be into animation, you know, when I went to art school, because I was going in as an artist, and I started 2D animating, and I loved it. I was naturally good at it, I guess. I understood movement, and then when I learned it on the computer, I assumed I would be doing that as well. So art school is where I was like, yeah, I'll be an animator when I graduate, artist. Freaking awesome. Could you tell me? I could tell you have been in some big things. This is so awesome. Thank you. Thanks, man. Paranorman was highly underrated. I agree. I still love it. There's so much magic in that movie. I watch it, you know, even myself as a person who worked on it, I still watch it almost every year. Yeah, like around Halloween and stuff like that, I'll pop it on. Relive the dream. Yeah. So I think it's been about an hour, guys. So this was kind of my first test. I will be coming back to do this again. I'll be going up to Leica in January, which is very soon. And since I won't be able to animate there, I will be doing a lot more live stream stuff to kind of make sure that the channel's cool, connect with you guys. Like I said, I'm really interested in creating relationships now with some of you that I are here supporting my channel. So it's great to meet everyone here. That was the first time I met you. I'm a fan of stop motion since the old Sinbad movies. Yep, me too. I love your work and have the utmost respect for anyone keeping this art form alive. Thank you very much. Yeah, Lurie, thank you. I'm a huge fan of all those films too. You can see my Cyclops over here. I got Medusa over here. I got, yeah, I'm a big fan of the old monster creature feature stuff. Remember you following your stop motion journey on your blog. Wow, Artkez, that's amazing. I keep running into people who followed me on my blog, and it blows my mind. And I'm so honored that you stuck around through this transition from the blog to YouTube and Instagram and all the social media that grew since then. And wow, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey for sure. All right, awesome. Well, if there's no more last questions, I still got another minute and stuff. I'll just thank you all for coming. Great to meet everybody, and some of the old folks that I know, like Dingus and Kelly Botter. Great to see you guys here. Plastic action, no plastic. Yeah. I will let you go. Thanks for being generous with the questions. Yeah, of course. My honor. I love sharing with people, especially because I love this. I love stop motion so much, an animation period. Okay. Do the producers, filmmakers provide you with a claymation studio, or do you have to use your own? Well, they hire my studio, our studio, Stunt Puppet Pictures. So like this is my office. Down underneath the house is a very large basement, which is basically split into about 4 stages where we can have different sets, and we animate there. And then I have a very large barn on our property where we have been setting it up for larger productions, which is a series or a feature film. So that is where we'll be going as we get larger and larger and need more and more space and start telling larger stories. So thank you. All right. Yeah, you are a big inspiration to many and a good role model for the art and craft of stop motion. You deserve your success. Thank you. You produce such high quality work. Yeah, thank you. I love what I do. I love this stuff. And I will see you guys another time. I'll try to set it up too, just for anyone here still. Kind of a regular time, so it's easy to know, like, hey, Justin's gonna be online Fridays at whatever 8 o'clock or something like that after you grub dinner or something like that. But I'll let you guys know as I start to solidify and get settled at Leica. All right, thank you guys. Later, over and out. Stream will stop.